We found what looks like the entrance to a drift mine. That's simply amazing, isn't it? Rotherham Main Colliery was situated in Canclo, which is around about half a mile south of Rotherham town centre in the Rother Valley, and work commenced on the first shaft in 1890, with the pit employing up to 2,000 miners at one time until 1954. A look at Google imagery, the site of Rotherham Main is smack bang in the middle. It's all this area here where it's been built on, and down to the centre where you can see that green area right in the middle. That is between the railway line today on the left and the A630 on the right hand side. A lot of the colliery land was redeveloped to take this road, so we're going to end up wandering down into that greened off area right next to the River Rother. If we turn to the older map, you can see it a lot more clearer. There is no A630, but you can see there's a lot of land occupied by Rotherham Main Colliery and the railway lines and the buildings that also occupied that site. So I'm following the River Rother, that's just there. Centenary Way, that is a little way behind me, with Rotherham Town Centre, probably about half a mile. This way, I'm heading towards Canclo Woods, still keeping the River Rother to my left. And it's fascinating because I was only looking at some old railways in this area to see what there is or isn't, and I just saw this land that just seemed as if it was used, and then it's been undeveloped after it's whatever its use was. Looked into it more and it was Rotherham Main Colliery. Work started on that in 1890. First shaft was sunk and production began in 1894. It did last until 1954, so not a huge life, was it, compared to some. And there was even a strike, I believe, in the 1920s that almost brought production to a standstill. I'm going to push on, I'll show you where I'm walking, and if we see anything, I'll be sure to let you know. So over to my right, we've got that old abandoned wasteland that I was talking about. Now, read up about this on places such as Wikipedia and whatnot. It says there's nothing left. It's totally gone, because since the construction of the road and also some units popping up around there, it was all just flattened and obliterated. I must point out that at one point there was over 2,000 work staff here, a workforce that was huge after World War I. But when the 1926 strike happened, it operated on around about 300 men. It did have its problems as well, because it was prone to flooding. I can show you down there how far down the River Rother is. That's substantially deep, isn't it, where that's flowing. And also this colliery was served by the Midland Railway and also the Great Central Railway, both having rail connections. But I wasn't really prepared for and expecting what I was to find next. But I believe you'll agree with me that when you see it, it is indeed an impressive survivor. Some kind of building here then, look. Bricks up there, it looks like there's two different types of brickwork there, so some kind of outbuilding for the colliery, isn't it, just there? So I look again on Google Maps from above, I can show you roughly where I believe these are. They're situated just here on the right hand side of the railway line, hidden amongst the trees on the edge. It's quite easy to see from the railway line, I would imagine too. If we jump over to the old map from around about 1900 in exactly the same location, it's going to be roughly here in this section of building just on the right hand side of the railway line. As we pan around just there on the right, it looks like there's a newer section with what looks like a little arch on the right hand side. And straight away we found what looks like the entrance to a drift mine. They were built with those curved arches, weren't they? And you go downwards to take equipment to the shafts and the tunnels deep below. That's extraordinary. Let's get a bit closer. Oh, that's stunning, isn't it? As I said, I had a feeling we might see something, but I didn't expect that straight away. with, looks like a building used to be on the top. That is phenomenal, isn't it? That's simply amazing, isn't it? You can see on the right hand side the brickwork just stops. But fancy that! That is a drift mine entrance, isn't it? Beautiful. I'm going to move along a little bit further because I can see more brickwork not far away. Yeah, so there's something, look, so clearly it used to be in that position but stood up because the mortar is at the bottom. Look, can we get any imprints of where these bricks are made? It looks unlikely, unfortunately, but you've got to remember, I mean, there's another pile of it there, but you've got to remember all this probably dated back to around about 1890, 94. Even more piles of rubble there, look. There's bits of iron or steel mixed in with it, look. There's a section there, probably something to do with whatever building was here. And that too. I just promised, there is another building, and I think it's got another drift mine tunnel which is even more visible. Well, that is indeed quite something, isn't it? The arch being more apparent, look, going into that brick wall just there. So it's different to the other one. The brick wall and the building above is set further back. But we've still got, if I pan out a bit, the entrance to that tunnel, look, completely filled in. But what a remarkable reminder, isn't it? It's brilliant. Is it JD & Co? Anyone know where they were manufactured? Got to be local, haven't they? Now we can move around from that drift tunnel entrance on the left, and this building is longer than the previous one. Look, it does carry on before coming to an abrupt end, and that is what it looks like at the far end. So we're on the far side of the second drift mine entrance that we've seen. Probably toddle off over to the other side and see if we can see anything else. I do find it remarkable that this appears to be such a barren wasteland. It all looks like it's demolished. But the drift mine entrances, no, they are securely fenced off, but it's still remarkable. Why would they not just flatten them and cap them? I'm glad they haven't, so I've got to see them today and I got to share it with you. So that's what it looks like on the other side. So the second drift tunnel we found is on the other side of that wall. Behind me, I've got the active railway line. And again, you can see the side walling of that first drift tunnel entrance. And this stonework does carry on right the way around. Look, the original first drift tunnel entrance that we found is on the opposite side to this. I'm still astounded this is all still here. There's a huge chunk missing there, look. It's just collapsed, fell away. It's going to be all that pile down there, isn't it? That again looks like older brickwork on the right hand side, look. Completely weathered, probably as old as the colliery itself. And there we go, look, back where we began. Yeah, I do think this second drift was probably my favourite part. it's the more obvious one, isn't it? It'd be nice if it could be preserved in some fashion, and I think eventually this will all just get built on behind me, this land as it has either side of it. So as I mentioned before, amongst all the buildings and the working gear and the colliery buildings, the railway was served by the Great Central and the Midland Railway line. The line is still opposite on my right hand side, but there would have been all manner of sidings in here, passing loops, you name it, anything to do with loading and unloading, but mostly loading the coal trains. Don't know how long this will be here, but I'm glad I took the opportunity and the chance. I don't normally chance stuff. I usually really like to look into stuff, but I'm doing something else nearby and I thought I'd just pop by and take a look, and I'm glad I did. A quick look at railmaponline.com can show you those railway lines, both the main line on the left hand side of the colliery, that's that red one going from top to bottom, that is active today, and you've got the yellow lines which was operated by the Midland Railway, and the blue lines coming into the colliery site which were for the Great Central Railway. I imagine there was other sidings and passing loops not shown on here as well. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Nice short little explore to see something so significant and historical to our past, but there's a bit of it still here. Anything else like this, comment down below. Anything, even if it's small, large, let's go and have a look at it. You can follow me on Facebook, I'd love you to do that. That's coming up on the screen down below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and tell me what you think. Thank you all. Bye for now.